Good morning, Clarksville. On today's news broadcast, chalk walk, Black Hawk, and a handicapped turtle. Plus local sports, weather, and more. APSU-TV News starts right now. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brandon Crosslin.
And I'm Rachel LeJeune.
Domestic violence is an issue that needs more urgent attention. APSU's Karina Harris has a closer look on what to do if you know someone struggling with domestic violence.
Hi, I'm Karina Harris with APSU-TV News here at Peay State University, located here at the Honors Common Department. The Honors Department hosted a symposium event for domestic violence.
I'm happy to welcome you to the first of the Real Talk workshops, Raising Engagement and Awareness for Life. These talks will be held the first Thursday of each month in the fall.
Domestic violence really is about power and control. It's really aimed at vulnerable people.
They start breaking you down over time. Most of the time it's a woman that's a victim, but not always. We have men that have been victims.
True domestic violence is actually the best kept secret. So we have to learn to step out of that, and we have to almost be magicians to figure out what really happened, because we're not going to get told the truths.
The thing that really, in my experience, drives domestic abuse away the quickest is bringing it to the light. But that's the scariest thing too.
If you see it, don't look the other way. But stay safe.
You will never inconvenience us by reporting something that's happening to you.
I'm Karina Harris with APSU-TV News.
Now, Karina Galvan will report on the Black Hawk helicopter landing.
Thanks, Rachel. Last week, 2 UH-60 Black Hawk helicopters landed on APSU's Dunn Center for training exercises for the Governor's Guard ROTC program and the Tennessee National Guard.
This is an event that the ROTC program at Peay State University is holding to conduct training with their cadets.
So today we're doing cold load training.
Cold load training is the training of unloading and offloading on UH-60 Army Black Hawk helicopters for air assault operations.
I've been studying Black Hawks for the whole year.
Most exciting part about the training is seeing these new soldiers slash ROTC cadets being able to see things like this for the first time.
It's pretty impressive. And they have two military aircraft, they're maybe probably like 35 feet in length, come in close proximity and land in a big field right here next to the school.
I'm going to train on how to properly enter the aircraft, strap myself in safely, that way I can safely fly to our destination and also safely exit the aircraft.
We have some cadets with enlisted experience to where this is old hat. We've got others where this is something brand new, and they're pretty pumped about it.
As you can see, when the helicopters came in, there was a lot of wind speed, so a lot of people aren't prepared for that.
This is actually my first experience with it. I actually felt like I was about to fall backwards because the wind was just gushing towards me.
ROTC program is a great opportunity, along with doing things like the National Guard to pay for college and then also be an officer at the end of it.
You're part of a team. You're building skills, life skills, leadership skills.
This is just one example of the excellence in our training and the quality of our preparation for our cadets to serve our nation.
This damage in rural Tennessee may have been caused by a tornado. The Gunther family says the wind picked up so fast the windows on their home were shattering before they could make it to the basement. The wind lifted a building behind their barn right off its foundation and moved it about a foot. Neighbors and even the local sheriff are helping them clean up the damage. No injuries were reported. The National Weather Service will determine if it was in fact a tornado that hit the area. For more on the weather, let's head over to Aaliyah Harris.
Thank you, Brandon. So for our current national temperature, as you see, the temperature has really got down. So for New York at 67, Chicago 62, and then for Atlanta you have 61, and then over here in Seattle we have 73, Los Angeles at 85, Denver at 61, Dallas at 84. And for today's highs, Clarksville's at 77, about Nashville at 79. Then you have Memphis at 80, and then you have Chattanooga at 78, and Knoxville at 76. So for tonight, it's going to be very chilly, so make sure you have a coat on. So Memphis is 59, and then Clarksville is 54, Nashville is 57, and then Chattanooga is 63, and Knoxville is at 60. So our current temperature right now is 67 degrees. We're getting that fall weather finally. It's a little sunny outside with winds south at 18 miles per hour. And then tonight, it's going to be, like I said, very chilly. It's going to be 65 with a full moon out tonight. And there's not going to be much rain out. After all the days we have rain, it's not going to be raining tonight. So for our 5-day forecast, we have Friday was mostly sunny, of course, at a high of 77 and low of 54. We have Saturday at a high of 79 with a low of 56. And then we have Sunday at a high of 83 with a low of 65. It's going to be very sunny. For Monday, it's going to be morning showers with a high of 87 and a low of 66. And then on Tuesday, it's going to be isolated thunderstorms. So make sure you have an umbrella and your coat with a high of 82 and a low of 65. And still ahead, we'll have Gabe tell us what's going on in the world of sports. APSU News TV will be right back.
Football player Eric Reed inked a deal with the Carolina Panthers. Reed has been out of the NFL since filing a grievance against the league in May, alleging teams concluded to deny him a job. And the Panthers announced the signing of the free agent safety to a one-year deal Thursday. Reed is an ally of Colin Kaepernick, who filed a similar grievance against the league. He joined Kaepernick in kneeling during the national anthem when the two were San Francisco 49ers teammates. Reed's attorney, Mark Garego, said Thursday his collusion case is still against the NFL is still ongoing. For more information on what's happening in sports, let's head over to our new member for a look at your Gov Sports update. Gabe?
Thanks, Brandon. Let's get the ball rolling with some volleyball. Our Lady Govs defended home court Tuesday night against Murray State, 3-1. Senior Kristen Stucker and Kaylee Taft each had 6 blocks, and junior Jenny Garridge led the way with 19 digs, making her one of 4 Govs to post double-digit totals. The Lady Govs remain undefeated in OVC competition. Currently sitting at 13-2, our Lady Govs will continue their 4-game homestand next against Morehead State Saturday at 2 p.m. in the Dunn. From hardwood to the turf, our Austin Peay football team fell short to UT Martin last Saturday, 37-7. Our Governors went into halftime with a 7-6 lead, then Martin scored 31 unanswered points in the second half. Sophomore quarterback Jeremiah Oatsvall scored a 37 rushing yard touchdown, his 3rd consecutive game with a rushing touchdown, and junior running back Kentel Williams had 91 yards on 11 carries for the day. Sitting at 2-2, our Govs look to bounce back on the road against reigning OVC champions Jacksonville State Gamecocks, 3 p.m. Saturday. Catching up with the Govs cross-country team, senior Wesley Gray finished first at Austin Peay's annual home meet last Saturday, posting a time of 19 minutes and 16 seconds, being the first Gov since Matthew Bywatt to finish first in 2017. Gray was awarded OVC Cross-Country Runner of the Week. His individual efforts were complimented by his teammates. The Governors squeezed out the win by 1 point over Evansville. For our lady runners, freshman Maisie Lay and senior Caroline Kilplagat finished top 5 with times of 18 minutes and 58 seconds and 18 minutes and 59 seconds respectively. The University of Louisville is the next stop for our runners for the Louisville Invitational next Saturday. Kicking it with our women's soccer, our Lady Govs suffered a narrow loss to Eastern Illinois, putting their record at 6-4-1. Clara LaRose led the way with 5 shots on goal, with a few going high and wide. EIU's Kayla Stofa scored in the 72nd minute, proving to be the game-winning goal. Come see our Lady Govs defend home field against Jacksonville State Friday at 5 p.m. That's all for sports. Back to you guys.
The November midterm election has been generating a lot of interest this year. Democrats have high hopes for the retaking of the House, while Republicans feel confident of keeping both chambers of Congress. The midterm is a little over a month away, but there is still time to register to vote. The Montgomery County Election Commission reminds people that they can register online at ovr.govote.tn.gov. You must have a Tennessee's driver's license or a Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security ID in order to use the online registration. If you need to register in person, you can do so at the Election Commission office on Pageant Lane Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. You can also register to vote at the Department of Safety, Department of Human Services, Health Department, and the WIC office. The deadline to register is October 9th. If you are mailing your registration to the local office or to your home county clerk, the forms must be postmarked by October 9th. If you are registered in your home county, you can vote by absentee. Those ballots must be received by your home county clerk by Election Day. Early voting starts October 17th and ends October 30th. All early votes must be cast at the local Election Commission office. And remember, there are several races of interest on the midterm ballot, including the statewide races for governor, U.S. Senator, U.S. House of Representatives. In Clarksville, the ballot includes races for city mayor, Tennessee House of Representatives.
A defiant Brett Kavanaugh vehemently denying allegations of sexual assault. The Supreme Court nominee shouted and at times fought back tears as he testified in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee. But his accuser, Christine Blasey Ford, was also passionate and pointed to Kavanaugh as her assaulter. CNN's Kristen Holmes has more on the emotional testimony from Capitol Hill.
I am innocent of this charge.
Thank you Christine Blasey Ford testifying she has no doubt that Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh sexually assaulted her when they were in high school.
With what degree of certainty do you believe Brett Kavanaugh assaulted you?
100%.
Kavanaugh vehemently denying the allegation.
I'm not questioning that Dr. Ford may have been sexually assaulted by some person in some place at some time. But I have never done this.
A visibly emotional Ford, describing what she says happened in raw detail.
You were the object of the laughter?
I was, underneath one of them while the two laughed. Two friends having a really good time with one another.
Longtime sex crimes prosecutor Rachel Mitchell doing the questioning for the all-male Republican committee members, attempting to poke holes in Ford's memory of the events.
How were you able to narrow down the time frame?
I can't give the exact date.
Kavanaugh telling senators he wouldn't be withdrawing over the allegations.
If you're very confident of your position, and you appear to be, why aren't you also asking the FBI to investigate these claims?
Senator, I'll do whatever the committee wants. I wanted a hearing the day after the allegation came up. I wanted to be here that day.
Brainerd High School in Chattanooga, Tennessee was on lockdown for an illness this week. CNN's Hannah Lawrence has that story.
We was on lockdown for like an hour and a half.
Early dismissal came hours late for students at Brainerd High School.
We held dismissal here.
Administrators say they called police here after 5 students had to be taken to the hospital.
We believe that it was some type of substance that they ingested.
These pictures from students who were kept inside the school show the canines police came through with. Kashawn Wynn says police individually looked through each student's stuff.
They were searching everybody's book bags. They made me take my jacket off.
All the while, Wynn's mother was outside trying to pick him up and get off these wet roads.
You're telling me there's a problem with the weather and you're dismissing all the other schools, but you've got my child on lockdown. I feel like that's an issue.
Sometimes it's just important to have everybody stay put until we can determine what was causing kids to get sick and was there any more of it in the school.
Bill Cosby, known for decades as America's dad, now given a new label, sexually violent predator. The 81-year-old man, disgraced comedian, sentenced to state prison for sexually assaulting Andrea Constan. CNN's Camilla Bernal is in Norristown, Pennsylvania with more.
For decades, the defendant has been able to hide his true self and hide his crimes, using his fame and fortune. Finally, Bill Cosby has been unmasked, and we have seen the real man as he is headed off to prison.
As Judge Stephen O'Neill handed down his sentence, he declared that Bill Cosby had committed a serious crime and said the day and time has come for him to face his punishment. The 81-year-old was facing a maximum of 30 years behind bars, but O'Neill merged the 3 counts since they all related to the same 2004 sexual assault.
This has been a long journey to justice.
For all of the accusers,
Cosby was ordered to spend 3 to 10 years in state prison. In addition to his sentence, the judge also ruled that Cosby will be classified as a sexually violent predator. Cosby will have to register with state police, undergo sex offender counseling, and notify his community of his status. His lawyers say they plan to appeal.
Mr. Cosby's defense team is preparing a motion to address Mr. Steele's use of falsified evidence. Mr. Cosby clearly has been denied his right to a fair trial.
Andrea Constant and several other Cosby accusers were in the courtroom for sentencing, but notably missing was Cosby's wife of 54 years, Camille.
Neighbors helping neighbors. Residents in South Carolina town devastated by Hurricane Florence are paying it forward. CNN's Nick Papatonis met some of those folks lending a helping hand.
Truck by truck, our neighbors came into town. They brought equipment, expertise, and enthusiasm.
When you're stood up like this on state active duty in a time like this when citizens need the help, that's such a motivator for our soldiers and airmen.
Day and night, they've worked, building bridges both over water and with people. This isn't a story about safety in the skies or on the ground. This story is about neighbors. For every hour on guard, for every bridge built or rescue made, this community is giving back. Hour by hour, the donations pour in. Water, food, clean clothes.
It's nice and refreshing to see that all the communities just coming together as one, so we're all Americans and treating each other like we're supposed to.
Actions that carry more value than the items themselves.
You don't really get a chance to go out to get much of anything. It's either here at the Armory or out where they're on the work site. So when they see things like that, it's just a tremendous boost for them.
Georgetown is carrying on a new South Carolina tradition. When the storms come, the people respond.
You saw people in communities come together and support the soldiers and airmen in a time of need.
Neighbors helping neighbors, a bridge that outlasts even the strongest storm.
A turtle sporting Lego wheels, a dog in a tight spot, and a seal that lays the smack down. Animals run amok. CNN's Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
An injured turtle in Maryland has a new set of wheels after vets got creative and used Legos to give the little guy a leg up. A Maryland zoo employee found the eastern box turtle struggling in a grassy area. It's believed it was likely hit by a car.
We were trying to find something to keep him off the ground since he has the fractures on the bottom of his shell.
Plans were drawn up, some technical, some not so technical. Ultimately, the toy bricks were used along with plumber's putty to build a tiny wheelchair. Zoo officials say the turtle is responding well and with continued rehab should be released within a year. California firefighters came to the rescue of a dog in a tight spot. It started when Carrie Faust couldn't find her dog, Luna. She eventually found the pouting pooch stuck in a cinder block wall. Look at that face. Faust called local firefighters, and with a pry bar and a sledgehammer, they had the dog free in a matter of minutes. Faust says she now plans to remove the wall. She also says that aside from being a little embarrassed, Luna is doing fine. Yep, that seal just slapped that kayaker in the face with an octopus. The in-your-face moment was captured off the coast of New Zealand. The slap likely wasn't personal, as wildlife experts say seals often thrash around with their prey before eating it. The kayaker was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Or right time, depending on how you look at it. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
The Clarksville community has an opportunity to express their artistic abilities this Saturday. The Downtown Commons will be hosting Chalk the Walk from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. This event will be free along with live music, live artists, 4 3D chalk artists, and food trucks for all attendees. Local schools will have a competitive Chalk the Walk competition, and be sure to bring your family to this event.
Today and tomorrow, you still have a chance to catch the inaugural Hoptown Harvest Festival hosted by the Hopkinsville Christian County Downtown Farmers Market. Tonight's main event will be the 3rd annual Founders Square Feast. This will include a locally sourced 3-course meal with social hours starting at 6 and the dinner starting at 7. Tickets are $53 each. You can still reserve your seat at 270-887-4285. Concluding the festival on Saturday will be the 2nd annual Kentucky Bourbon Masherie. which will include local brewers and music. The downtown farmers market will open on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Music will run from 11 to 9, and beverages will be served from noon to 8. Bring the kids for face painting, a hay maze, and many other family-friendly activities. Admission is free.
Tia Jones, a corporate communications student, is starting a new segment for APSU-TV News called A Better You. In this segment, she shares her experiences through her college career. She will also give tips and strategies that will encourage and empower women to become the best version of themselves. Tia will also interact and engage with female students on APSU's campus. Take a look at this promotional video for A Better You.
I'm Tia Jones. Thank you for tuning in to A Better You, where I give you tips and strategies that will equip and empower you to be the best lady that you can be as a college student. Here are a few facts about myself. I am an Army veteran, a non-traditional student, and a senior here at Peay State University. While transitioning out of the Army last year, I began my first semester as a full-time college student that I traditionally was 8 years ago. The only difference from the Tia I was in 2010 is that I am more wise, mature, and aware of my identity and what I want to study. Was the transition challenging? Of course. Did some days seem tougher than others? Absolutely. But I didn't quit, and neither will you. It is my journey that has birthed out my desire to equip and empower you to be the best lady that you can be as a college student. I've created segments where I cover different topics ranging from college, professional, and personal life. In each segment, I highlight issues and step-by-step strategies and solutions that will help you become the best version of yourself. Ladies, you do not want to miss this. Tune in to APSU-TV News live on CDE 9, Spectrum 192, and UVerse 99 every Friday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'm looking forward to our journey together. And always remember, it is never too late to be a better you.
I wanted to welcome Mr. Gabe Jones to the crew, doing the sports today. Did a mighty fine job.
Indeed. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to do my best whenever I have to fill in, you know. Yeah, working on it.
You certainly did a great job today. A couple of things we want to talk about. The Governors play Jacksonville State tomorrow, and should be a tough matchup from what you've told me so far.
Yeah, they have won, I believe, the last 3 conference games. They won the last 4 OVC championships. They're going to be a really tough matchup, but we've gotten better over the last 2 years.
I would say it's been a dramatic comeback over the last 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're looking for something to do tomorrow, at Forterra Stadium, Bands of America will be doing their Clarksville appearance, which basically what that is just high school marching bands from across the state and other states will be here to compete on one of the high school marching band's biggest stages. So
wow, that's really cool.
A lot of really nice competition going on tomorrow. And if you want to see the GOM, we'll be exhibitioning between preliminaries and finals. And so you can come out to see that as well.
For other Austin Peay students, remember that mobile applications were due today, so you have to get them in by the end of the day.
Darn, I was going to do a team all by myself.
Man, I do not like getting dirty.
We can definitely do it. We could have done it.
That's all the time we have for today. Be sure to join us in the interaction by liking us on Facebook at facebook.com/APSU-TV. Also with Instagram, APSU_TV.
Thanks for joining us for another edition of your Govs News Weekend Update.
And as always,
let's go
Peay.